to put the copper foil around the edge of your glass pieces. This copper foil you're going to treat just like your building materials for the Hans Schepker Snapology, in that you're going to ask for just what you need, and you're going to use as much of the product as you can without wasting any. So there's a couple of guidelines for how to get the copper to stick well to the edge of the glass. So let's start with one of these white pieces. Mr. Schepker is going to ask you to start somewhere other than a corner. And I'm going to ask you not to touch the sticky portion of the foil. I'm removing the tape here to expose the sticky side of the copper foil. This is a metallic tape where one side is sticky and one side is metal. We're going to try to overlap somewhere in the middle of an edge of one of your glass pieces so that we don't have a ragged corner. We're going to try to keep the foil tape even on both sides of your glass tile or bead or rod, whatever it is we're foiling. And I'm keeping pressure in two directions as I rotate this square onto the tape. So I'm pulling away to the right with my right hand, and I'm keeping tension to the left with my left hand so that I have no gaps and no overlaps. We're going to rotate the figure 360 degrees plus a little bit more so that we overlap by about a ½ inch. Somewhere in the middle of an edge. You'll have snippers to cut your edges off, but now my cut is here. It won't interfere with any of my corners. After you've rotated the foil onto the glass, you're going to run a finger down each edge. The glass has been ground so that it isn't quite as sharp, although you could still cut yourself with the exposed glass. The foil protects you from the possibility of cuts. So you've rubbed your finger down all 4 edges or all of the edges of your piece, and then you're going to pinch the sides of the foil down onto the face of the glass. Then you're going to take care of these corners. You will again pinch the foil down onto the glass in the corners. So now the foil is applied. We are going to work on rolling the foil onto the glass more permanently. And we'll do that with the roller tool that looks like that. You want to keep the knuckle of the roller facing up as you, with your glass piece flat on, and I'm going to work on a table surface because this mat sticks. With your work flat on the work area, you're going to put a little bit of pressure, moderate pressure, against the edge of your piece, and you'll bring your roller onto the top. And this is a lot like working the air bubbles out of the film that goes on your cell phone face. It is designed to simply smooth the edges. So then you run your finger over these edges, and if you find a catch, you run over it one more time. We're going to flip it over, do both sides. This is perhaps one of the most important steps in the construction process. If your foil won't stick to your glass, then your piece can fall apart. This is going to hang over people's heads. Therefore, we want to make sure all of the construction we've put into it has integrity and will stay together. So the important parts that you will be asked to repeat on a performance of this method are to unwrap the foil without touching it with your fingers. Make sure you have a very, 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 very clean piece of glass. These have all just been washed with soap and water and dried completely. The edge of the foil must be somewhere in the middle of an edge of the glass, never at a corner. And you're going to try to keep the foil, or keep the glass right in the middle of this very thin tape with enough tension to first stick the foil to the glass. Then we'll work with the roller to adhere the foil to the glass. So your work will be checked as you turn it in during the workshop, and we'll be looking to make sure that the foil stayed in the middle of the piece. We'll be looking to make sure the foil is stuck to the glass, and we'll be looking to make sure the foil is rolled appropriately onto the glass. If these components are not done carefully on each of the hundreds of pieces we'll be soldering together for the chandelier, then the chandelier will not stay together.